Hi, thank you for joining another great episode with Sophia Jacob, who is the founder of Sophia J Events in the Ottawa, Ontario, Canada region. She's doing fantastic things to help people get exposure, get their name out. And today we are going to be talking about, are you ready for the spotlight? Yes. Are you ready for people to notice you? And in being ready, we know the part of getting yourself, nice and polished for the spotlight. Sophia is going to lead us in a discussion today on everything business owners need to know to get themselves ready for their first radio interview or TV appearance. So let's get to it, and let me introduce Sophia Jacob to the show. How are you doing today, Sophia?
Really well, thank you, Nikki, for having me on again. I appreciate it so much.
Oh, it's always a pleasure, and I love learning from you. And we're going to talk about what we've learned about getting ready for radio and TV appearances.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the first thing. What do people need to do prior to an interview to get noticed?
So the first thing that I would suggest, if you've been noticed by a producer or somebody in the media and says they want to have you on their TV spot or on radio, a lot of the times they'll help you get prepared. As you know, if you have your bio ready, and that bio is sent over to them for them to, to kind of go over and get to know you a bit better, as well as a profile pic, a picture of you that you want people to see if they're going to post it anywhere or if they're going to post links and maybe share a picture of yourself. So you need to have at least those first two things ready to go, because most likely somebody in the media will ask, as you know, Nikki, you run the show, you'd probably ask for somebody to send you bio and pic so you can kind of get familiarized with your guests. So those are the two first things that we suggest. And then what we suggest to do is whatever show you're going to be going on, make sure you do some research about the topic that you're going to be talking about. So if you're going to be talking about weddings, make sure whatever it is on wedding rehearsals, if you're going to be talking wedding rehearsals, make sure that you do a little bit of research, even though it is your area of expertise per se. Do a little bit of research. What is the latest trend? Who has what out there? What can you show that can kind of complement your piece? And do a little bit of research about the show that you're going to be appearing on. If you're going to be going on a TV show that is popular wherever, you want to be able to cater to their audience. You know what I mean? So I live in the Ottawa area. I want to be able to pick up with the other Ottawa residents and the community here at large and get them to know me better if they don't already know me. I want to be able to resonate with them and talk about the city here and just what can I do for them here in my own city, and then branch out. You want to try and, give your city a shout out wherever you live, and then broaden your horizons from there. So these are some of the things that you can do to get started. If you're going to be doing probably like a TV segment or a radio segment. And again, learn more about the radio station that you're going to be going on, so you know how long it is, and ask questions. A lot of the times questions are sent to you. So you can go through those discussion points and then say, okay, great, they sent me some discussion points, or they sent me some, rules and policies. So make sure you go through that, read that carefully, because that'll let you know, like, okay, you only have about 7 minutes, and you need to go through the 6 discussion points quite quickly. So you'll have about a minute and a half to go through them, and this is what we'll do back and forth. So a lot of the times they help prepare you, and if you do your own preparedness and be ready, it's good for you as the person who's, wanting the spotlight.
Awesome. And those are absolutely great points, Sophia. And I'm just going to add just a little bit more based on, my experience in TV. Definitely when you're sending your bio, keep it short and sweet. People are so busy these days.
Right.
They have media ADD. That's what I call it. So they just want the relevant information and just keep it to the point and keep it relevant. So when someone is sending a bio, you don't have to send a chapter. Just send like maybe a paragraph. You can say so much in 4 lines. 4 sentences. Tops maybe 2 paragraphs, which would be 8 sentences, and that will get everything you need to do. So when you're writing your bio, keep it to the who, what, where, when, and why, and maybe a little bit of a how, and just keep it brief. The other thing too, with the profile picture, we always like our little profile pictures, and they're wonderful, and you like them, but ask yourself, how high resolution is it? Because if it's grainy to you, it's going to be grainy to the person you're sending it to, and you want to send a great message right away that you've invested in yourself by taking the time and a little bit of money to make sure that you have a proper headshot. So make sure that your headshots are professionally done. Okay, so people in the background cropped out, your partner's head, whatever. I've seen those pictures.
Yeah, that can happen. Absolutely,
that can happen. Or a family member you had in the shot, and you see their head cut off. No. Make sure it's just you in the shot, and it's a high resolution. The other thing too, and the thing that you brought up was so relevant about researching your topic. Very true. When you're coming on someone's show, know who your host is. If you want to get the best out of your host, know who they are, know what they like, so that you can start speaking their language, and you will get the most out of your host by, what they call mirroring in sales. So you do what they do, and you get the best conversation. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And definitely knowing who your audience is, so you want to know how to cater to them. So these are great points that you brought up. So I just wanted to expand on that. But the other thing too, working, and I'm sure you've worked with artists, and you probably are going to be continue working with different people in the marketplace, and performing artists are one of them. So they have one extra touch that they need to add to getting noticed, and that is the press kit or the press page. So people who are visual or audio professionals, they need to have this it presented a certain way. So how would they do that to get noticed?
It's so important. So a lot of the times, if you have your website ready, and sometimes you don't have your website ready, so now it's time to do a little bit of work. We all sometimes we get excited whenever we get on media and anywhere, and then we do a radio this, a TV that, a podcast here. We do a few stories and a few different things that are out in the media, and then we may lose track. What happens is, if you are able to have your website ready and have a media page, post everything there as it comes about. And if you aren't able, or if you don't have a website yet, just go back and make sure that you have all the links together in an email ready to go. Or you send out from your website, you send that link directly to them and say, here's all the press I've done. Because sometimes they'll reach out to producers or people in the media like yourself and myself. It's a point where, okay, we want to see if this person is an expert in that field, or we want experts on this time, paneling. So at this point in time, now you're being asked the questions, and you're on a panel, and you're doing the Ask the Expert. So now you're being looked on as upon an expert. They want to know that you are actually an expert. So if they've reached out to you and they said, okay, well, we've seen you do a few things, you've got some content out there, what else do you have? Just, you compile all that stuff together and you send it out to them. That is such an important package. Then they can see, okay, wow, she's talked about this topic on a number of occasions. She's got the credentials to kind of, help us here on our panel or in our media discussion, or be the Ask the Expert on our page or on our channel at that time. So just have it compiled together in a space. I'm not saying it has to be a website, but at least somewhere where you can go find it and put it out there immediately, because they need that. Media is pretty quick, and they need things returned within the next 20, sometimes right away, not even 24 hours. Quite quickly.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it's very time sensitive in the media world. Yeah. So if you miss the boat, well, hopefully the boat will come back, but hopefully that won't happen, and you'll be able to catch it that time. The other thing too is people think they need to spend hundreds of dollars to get their website up. There are 2 forums that you can use if it's just for a short period of time, or even if you feel that you're confident enough to jump into building your own website, you can do it, and you can start off for free. There's Wix, W-I-X, that you can start, and you can build from there. You can start with a one page and then keep adding on pages as you become more confident as your own web designer, or until you can afford to have someone to manage your page. There's Wix, and there's also Weebly.com, and it's very basic, but at least it's there, and you can say, yes, I do have a website, because what the website is, it's an internet signature.
That's it. It's your home.
And
it's your home.
It's your home.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's your core. So it's just like if you're going out to a networking event and you meet someone, for me, my own opinion, if they don't have a business card on them and they're at a networking event, that makes me wonder if they've got it all together in their business. And the same thing goes for a website. I will say, you've been in business for so long and you don't have a website, these are the two red flags for me. So for those listening, make sure you have your business card on lock with you all the time, and also have a website, whether it be just a one-pager or however, pimped out it is, at least have that ready to go.
That's right. There's also WordPress. And there's a lot of drop and drag builders that you can do. So if you can be as most ready as possible, your website is your home. Just have your house ready as much as you can. And, you send that link out, and the media, they're appreciative of that. They're like, oh, yeah, she or he is just great at what they're talking about. We can have them as a panelist or ask the expert.
Absolutely. Yes, so the press kit, the press page, the business card, the website, and then actually coming to a TV appearance, just things that I would suggest people to be aware of. Find out if you have someone who's going to be taking care of your grooming there. So if there is a hairstylist available or a makeup artist, you can find out ahead of time if they're going to be there. It may be part of the location. They could be part of the staff, so there's no extra cost. Or, if, like I always say, you have to invest in yourself, so be prepared to spend money in order to, stand out from the crowd. So be prepared to pay a little extra if you need a makeup artist, because you want to look extremely presentable and
at your best
at all times, because it only takes 4 minutes to make one great impression. So you have to take advantage of every opportunity. So, take a look at that and prepare yourself for that. And also, it wouldn't hurt to practice in front of a mirror your natural disposition. Some people have a default facial expression that looks like they're frowning, and they don't even know that. And that's just their natural way of looking, and it scares the other person looking at them. So, try to have a smile. Try to smile, speak smiling, and you'll be amazed on how you're going to be lighting up the room. And your tone changes when you're smiling. Absolutely.
It's the imaging. So even when if I'm ever on, I'm investing in myself. Absolutely.
Yes.
So if I'm ever on, just a couple weeks ago, you were here and we came to your show, we were like, oh, it's time to go shopping. Nikki's coming. It's time to go shopping. You know what I mean? Went out. You know what I mean? We wanted to make sure the image was right and reflected what we were going to talk about. And whether it be, little things to make it a better appearance. Even the way I was sitting or the way I was talking and what I was talking about, it all matches. So they say, oh, of course, if she's in media or if she does events, we know she's going to come to our event as the event coordinator, dressed appropriately for the business conference or for the networking event, or, you know what I mean? Even if it's a yoga thing, if you're somebody who does gym and yoga, and you went on in that dress of style, that would match you, because then that makes sense. They're like, oh, she's a fitness instructor, she's a yoga instructor, so of course you're going to wear beautiful, not your old gym runners. We're talking about nice, new, make it look presentable, make yourself look presentable, again, hair and makeup, the ladies, and we invested in those things, when we're going to go on TV, you invest in that, because that's me marketing myself as the brand all the way through from A to Z.
Amen. And it's so true to keep your brand consistent.
Yep.
So
absolutely,
there shouldn't be any wiggle room for people to question whether this is how you're going to present yourself off the social media to on the social media. So like you said, Sophia, so when you're going out and you're meeting Sophia Jacob, you expect her to be in business attire and that kind of thing. So that is a standard that you set through a consistency in your presentation. So that's absolutely true, Sophia.
From the very start, both men and women, if you want to make sure to present your business and the brand, even down to the brand colors, you want to wear your brand colors, do that. Then people will know, oh, it's always blue and green or yellow and black. These are your colors. She's wearing her brand colors. We see it in her logo. We see it when she talks about it. We see it when she's out. Her banner's up, the table's dressed. These are different things, but you make sure that your image is going through and feeding through your brand all the way so people relate to consistency. And that's how places like Coca-Cola and all them, that's how you have the memory of them, because they made sure that their brand is consistent all the way through.
Absolutely, absolutely. The podcasts podcasts and radio, TV appearances, these are all very important in getting the information out and exposing your brand. But I think too, and this is tying into making a good impression. When people meet you, wherever you go, you should be immaculate with your grooming. You should be very mindful of what you say and how you say it, because you're going to be judged. And you always want to make sure that you're making the right impression, even down to the handshake.
This is
if people will talk, and if you want them to talk, give them something to talk about, and it's going to be good stuff. So I always say, even off camera, even going to the grocery store, you never know who you're going to run into. Make sure you have it together. If you're going for a public figure role, if you're going to be dominant in whatever field, you have to make sure that you're looking together and sounding together wherever you are.
Pretty much every time. I mean, even a trip from here to, like you said, to the grocery store, or from here to your doctor's office, try and at least, have, presentable hair. I mean, you don't have to be, decked out, your face beat to the nines, but at least presentable clothing, and at least that image is carried through all the way. There's bad days for everybody, and I'm not saying that, we're all perfect or whatever, but at least for the most part, you're able to carry yourself through, and that way people can say, oh, well, today was her off day, or, she kind of had an off week, but normally we know her as this, and we know she's going to come jumping back right to that. So at least, that's your best foot forward.
Absolutely. At least just having the mindfulness that you're making an effort, and I'll give my own experience of the last, couple of weeks, going to the store and running into people, and they're recognizing me. They're giving me double takes, because I just recently did a whole flyer run for my show, my business. I did a whole neighborhood. So, having done that, I had to keep in mind that now that I'm stepping out of the door, I could be running into a potential customer. So if that is the case, then I have to be ready for them. You know what I mean? So if people are doing extension of marketing through flyer runs, or if they're doing billboard campaigns or anything like that outside of media in that particular marketing area, then that's something that they have to watch.
You're right. Street corner campaigns, especially in the summertime, just like realtors, we're not limited, on what we can do nowadays. If realtors are putting lawn signs up, if there's an allowability there, you can do the same thing too. It's promoting the event that's coming up, especially putting those different signs up, and they're huge, and that's perfect when people are driving by the highway and you see that an event is coming up. You just drove by a huge sign. That's great marketing. Thousands of people are heading down the highway or down the street each and every day, especially if that's up the whole week and they've passed it 2 or 3 times. They may want to come in and investigate. What event is that? Who's holding it? You put your coordinates there. they now know who you are. It's perfect for you and your business. And like you said, you did a flyer run. Your pictures on there and how to get to you and how to get to your show, and it's branching out, you know, amongst the city that you're in and then across Canada. So it can go so far.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they even have buses. I know the TTC in Toronto, there are campaigns where you can actually put your face and your company on the side of the bus, and also in bus shelters, as well as within certain lines of the subway. So other ways of getting your face, your product, your service out there, and very affordable, very reasonable ways and terms that you can work out with these marketing companies to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so just always staying ahead of the game and always being on top of your game.
That's right. And making sure that you pick up on the different trends, or if you hear about something that's a great media avenue, investigate. Why not? Because again, like you said, bus shelters and in the train station, Ottawa's about to get the new light rail train station. So that's perfect for brand new businesses. It's Canada 150 and the capital has been celebrating nonstop. So a lot of people have been really getting their name out along with the Canada 150 celebrations. So it's been a perfect time to, launch your business or have a business that's been around some years to attribute to that and kind of tie it in there. There's so many different ways. If you tie it into an event of some sort, it's another great way to launch yourself. You know, there's been, like I said, many businesses have launched themselves this year because it's Canada's 150 and the capital is celebrating it the hardest. There's just so many ways. And, I always tell, especially startup companies, take advantage, and learn from the experts.
Fantastic. Well, I think I've learned a lot from you today, and hopefully I've been able to be helpful to those.
Oh, my goodness.
In
As
putting
always,
together.
Nikki, we learn from you always. You are a master at what you do, and we are so thankful to have been on in these segments because what can we say? You know what I mean? We just see you as a blessing to us, here in Ottawa and beyond. And I know that, Canada-wide knows Nikki Clarke, absolutely, and beyond.
Thank you so much. And you're always a pleasure to talk to. And I am so looking forward to coming back to Ottawa and making frequent trips to Ottawa, a lovely city, beautiful place with just a wonderful spirit of people there in the very, very soon future. September 20th, actually, be coming down and regular runs. So thank you very much, Sophia. Looking forward to seeing you soon. And I just really enjoyed having the discussion on, are you ready for the spotlight? If you have any more questions for Sophia, how can they reach you?
You can reach me on Facebook, Twitter, Sophia J Events, on Instagram, Sophia.Jacob_events. I'm also at SophiaJEvents.com is my email, and my website is www.SophiaJEvents.com. You can give me a shout, 613-282-2922.
Fantastic. All right. You heard it from Sophia. You heard it from Nikki. And we're going to sign out now and be ready for another exciting episode in about a week's time. And we wish you all a very productive and blessed day. Thanks again, Sophia. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Nikki. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.